Welcome. Today we'll be discussing how to multiply and divide fractions. Now when it comes to multiplying fractions, which we'll be discussing first, it's actually a relatively straightforward process. I find it much easier even than adding fractions. There's no having to find a common denominator. We actually can just work straight across. So the general process for multiplying fractions is as follows. A over B times C over D is equal to AC over BD. This is essentially telling us all you have to do is multiply the terms straight across. The numerator times the numerator, denominator times the denominator, and it doesn't matter if they're different. So let's look at an example. Let's say I have 3 over 4, and this is being multiplied by 2 over 5. Notice different denominators. But typically when we were adding or subtracting, we'd have to find a common denominator and all that process, and we have to multiply numbers, and we don't have to do that. We just multiply straight across. Numerator times the numerator, denominator times the denominator. We get 6 over 20. But of course, we always want to simplify our fractions. We have to say, well, what goes into both 6 and 20? And we can know 2 does, and that would give us 3 over 10 as a simplified fraction. So let's say we were looking at a different situation with fractions. Say we had a mixed number such as 2 and 3/4 being multiplied by 6. And we wanted to know, what does this give us? We can't just multiply 2 times 6 to give us 12 and 3/4. What we have to do is we have to convert this mixed number here into an improper fraction. We do that by doing 2 times 4 and then adding 3 to that. So 2 times 4 will give me 8 plus 3 will give me 11. So I get 11 over 4. And I have to multiply this. I'm multiplying this by 6, but since I'm dealing with a fraction with 11 over 4, I want to make 6 a fraction as well. We can easily convert any whole number, whether it be 1, 10, 5,321, whatever it might be, we can convert it into a fraction by just putting it over 1. So let's make this 6 over 1. So I have 11 over 4 times 6 over 1. And now I follow my process again of multiplication of fractions. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 11 times 6 will give me 66. 4 times 1 will give me 4. So I get 66 over 4. But I'm not done. I need to simplify my fractions. How many times can 4 go into 66? Well, we can set this up as division. 66 divided by 4. 4 can go into 6 one time. That gives me 4. Subtract, we get 2. Bring down our 6. 4 goes into 26 6 times. Subtract, we get 2. Gonna have to add a decimal here and a 0. Bring that down. 4 goes into 20 a perfect 5 times. So that means we get 16.5 for our final solution. This can also be written as 16 1/2 if we wanted to maintain that fraction ratio, right? And that's how we multiply our fractions. Now let's look at dividing fractions. Dividing fractions is actually almost just as simple as multiplying fractions. In fact, it involves multiplying them at the end. For multiplying fractions, what we do is we have what we call keep, change, flip. So for example, if I have A over B and I'm dividing it by C over D, what we do is we rewrite the equation. It's very tough to say. We rewrite it as A over B times, so we change this, and we're going to change it to multiplication, and then this is going to be flipped. So we're going to keep, change, flip, and we're going to keep A over B. We're going to be multiplying, so we're changing the division to multiplication, and C over D is going to be flipped to be D over C. So let's apply this. Let's say we have 2 over 5, and this is being divided by 3 over 6. So when I follow my process, I keep, change, flip, keep 2 over 5, change my division to multiplication, and flip my fraction on the end to 6 over 3. Now I multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. And then we simplify. What goes into both 12 and 15 is 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times, and into 15 5 times to give me my simplified fraction of 4 over 5. Now we could have simplified 3 over 6 at the very beginning, which would have given us 1/2, and then when we flipped it, it would have given us 4 over 5 when we multiplied. So it's any process. You can simplify fractions any way along the process, but ultimately you want to have a simplified solution, and our solution should be 4 over 5. And that is how we divide fractions.